history of the polymorphism which and their base. uh, in, in Java, in Java language is a Java language is an pure object-oriented programming language, and there are four pillars of the object-oriented programming language that can be provided to Java language. That this is the features to accessible by Java also. There are four pillars. Let's we have to see which are that. One is polymorphism, second is inheritance, third one is encapsulation, fourth one is abstractions. There are these four have their own features are uh, importance, and then it is the most important parts of the OOPS concept, and it can help to the all developers to creating projects and to enhance using the productivity and the readability and security to that projects. That these four OOPS concepts can be most important to using. Then we have to discuss about the polymorphism. Polymorphism is the concept by which can be perform single task to in a different way. That is when a single task, single entity can be single entity means objects behaves differently in different cases. It is known as a polymorphism, means single objects can shows multiple forms or multiple behaviors. It is known as polymorphisms. And what is then there are two types of polymorphism. One is static polymorphism, it is also known as the compile time polymorphisms, and the second one is dynamic polymorphism. It is achieved in the runtime polymorphism. Then we have to know about the static polymorphism. It is in the workings in the compile time polymorphism. It is a compile time polymorphism, a polymorphism which can be where object binding with methods and happens at a compile time. It is called as a static polymorphism, and in a static polymorphism and the or a compile time polymorphism. Static polymorphism, the behaviors methods is decided at a compile time based on the parameters or arguments of the methods. Then how do we can achieve these implementations of static polymorphisms. Static polymorphisms can be achieved by the methods. Can be achieved by the methods. Can be achieved by the methods, and in the method overloading. Others compiles of a compile time polymorphism as a constructor overloading and the method overhiding. Then the how that compiler differentiate the methods in the compile time polymorphism means in during the compilation or the during the compilation of the or the Java compiler differentiate between the multiple methods and having the same name by their arguments. Then the second one is runtime polymorphism. Runtime polymorphism is a polymorphism which is objects binding with the methods and happens at the runtime is called as a runtime polymorphism. It runtime polymorphisms, the behaviors of the method is decided at a runtime, means JVM binds the methods calls with the methods at a runtime and invokes the relevant methods during the runtime. When the methods is called the objects are created and the runtimes and the methods is calling by using an object of the class. It is also known as runtime polymorphism. Then we have the achievements or implementation of the dynamic polymorphism is also known can be achieved by the method overriding in Java. It is another way to implement the polymorphism and the common approach of the relationship. Then let's we have to discuss about something of the method overloading and method overriding. Method overloading is used to increase the readability of the programs. Means this is also main features of the polymorphism. Means this is the both parts of the polymorphism, means overloading and overriding. The second one is overriding in the Java is used to provide the specific implementation of the methods is that is already provided by its superclass. Methods overriding is the used to perform within the class, and the method overriding is occurs into the two classes that has is also known as is a inheritance. In case of method overloading, parameter must be different. Means overloading, their parameters must be different, but in the overriding, in this case methods overriding, the parameters must be same. Means when we create the overloading, means we can do the overloading in the same class. Then at this scenario all the parameters are different, but in the overriding there are the this will be happens into the in two subclasses overriding, and the methods are same and the parameters are also same. This is also known as overriding. In the Java, overloading cannot be performed by changing the return type of the methods only. Return type of the same or the different in the methods overloading, it was be changed. But say in the overriding, the return time must be same or the as per the method overriding. Something we can see the runtime polymorphism with the data members. Means it can be not the data members. The runtime polymorphisms cannot be achieved by data members. The data members have speed limits. We are accessing the data members by reference variables of a parent class, which refers to the subclass of objects. Since we are accessing the class data members which is not overridden, suppose we can take one class. Suppose we can take class of class A, and for example class car, and their integer speed limit is 140, and we take another one class is class Renault, and extend the car. The integer speed limit is 220. Then we can, when we create the object of car object, and is equal to extended class of Renault, then at this scenario we can call to the obj dot speed limit. Then what will be the output of this? The output of this, when we create the object of first like car, this will be initialized, and the value of output is of car. And in the polymorphism there is a multi-level inheritance can be also possible. Means there one objects can be inherited to another class, and this class one class can extend to the class 3 also. This is also known as multi-level inheritance. The implementation of dynamic polymorphism or runtime polymorphism means we cannot be implement the runtime polymorphism by data members. We can see that saw that. Then we have to know about the data binding in the Java. This is the connecting between the methods call and the methods definitions. It is also known as binding in the Java. There are two types of data binding. One is static binding, and the second one is dynamic binding. Static binding is the early binding, and the dynamic binding is also late binding. Then we have to discuss about the static binding. Static binding is happens during the compilation, is called as also known as static binding. The Java, this binding is resolved by the compile time by the compiler. The compiler Java compiler just check the method is going to the call to the Java compiler just check the which method is going to be through the reference variable or not, or definitions exist or not. Only this can be checked, but it is particular reference variable is pointing to it. Then what is the static binding is also called as the early binding in Java. The static binding is also early binding, means it takes place before the program actually runs. This is the one of the example of the static binding is the method overloading. The static bindings means also known as dynamic binding. This is also achieved in the occurs during the runtime, called as dynamic binding. And this is based on the runtime polymorphism. JVMs performs all the dynamic binding in the Java. Means actual object is used for the binding at a runtime. Means JVM resolve the methods calls based on the type of objects at the runtime. The type of objects can be determined the compilers. This is also known as dynamic binding. We can see the one example of the binding, data binding method. Then for example, we can take the void m1 of string x in bracket and in curly braces sysout 1, and the second braces complete, and we can this class can extend to the class B, and public void m1 string x, and the sysout is 2, and super dot m1 is null. Then in this scenario we can create the object of class A is equal to new